it down and let it devolve into something as idiotic as arguing that Luka Doncic is not as valuable of a player as Jalen Brunson. And how the hell is Luka Doncic getting dragged into a Knicks versus Spurs NBA Finals to begin with? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Mavs fans, I'm going to apologize in advance. This is not aimed at you. I think you guys actually had a really, really interesting conversation going on, but y'all are going to get caught in the crossfire here a little bit. Again, apologies in advance. This is not aimed at any of you. But let's get into this. This has been making the rounds here. And this is Jalen Brunson sometime back on All the Smoke, talking about how the Dallas Mavericks had not one, but two opportunities to sign and do what would have been, based on today's perception of Jalen Brunson, an insanely below market value contract. Give this a listen.
Was there a chance in Dallas? Did the bright lights in New York recall your name? Talk to us about your career.
There's a chance. Okay, there's a chance. I really did want to stay in Dallas. I think before the season, we try to extend. The most we can get was like $4 million. Obviously, we wanted to do that. I wanted to stay there. I thought I would be there for a long time. It's funny because my agent was like, "Man, you can do so much. You can get more. You can get more." I'm saying like, well, I want to be safe. I'm not trying to gamble right now. This is not something we really gamble with if it's out there. But they were like, we want to see where we're at. But we were like, all right, well, if we're not going to do it, I kind of don't want to do it until after the season. I'm not trying to think about this during the season, right? There's a period where Luka went out and I started to start. I was playing really well. I think I was averaging like 20 and like 6, maybe, whatever. It was about that 20, 25 mark. So we went back like, hey, like the deal's there. We're thinking about it. Like, I'll do it. Like right now. Still, no. We want to see what we can do. I think I've done that now. I feel like doing that. I was in the playoffs. We started second to last year, the last game of the season. He's out in the first 2 games. I obviously feel back good. And we'll get back. And that all happens. The reason that's the conference finals. I remember seeing something on Twitter after the game.
He's playing more than anybody, you know, and I think he wants to stay, and that's most important. So I'm thinking after that. My point of view, just what they're doing was amazing. My point of view was good. And obviously I saw like saw all that stuff.
Okay. All right, you're going to keep the bottom line. The Dallas Mavericks had not one, but 2 opportunities to sign Jalen Brunson to a $55 million deal. They talked about it for the season, and Brunson was like, yeah, I'll sign it. And, you know, Mavs said, no, wait. They talked about it in the season. Mavs said it was just like 45 games to show. Then we'll figure out where things are at. Luka got hurt. They told Jalen Brunson mid-season said, yep, I'll sign it. Mavs were like, no, wait. They got past the trade deadline, so he comes up again, March 5th, the other day, that at that point, Jalen Brunson had been having some good season, they just kind of laughed and like, no, I think I'm beyond this now. I think I'm past the deal, and now all this stuff going around, you see the Mavs being frowned upon for having the worst bubble in NBA history, for losing Jalen Brunson, who is 2 weeks away from winning an NBA championship with the Knicks, and Luka Doncic, you know, got traded to the Lakers, one of the most important he goes into the trade, so we go to see the NBA, one of the greatest trades. And so that's naturally, it's a very interesting thought exercise here on what is actually the bigger bubble, because the reaction is to say Luka Doncic, right? Because he's a superstar, Luka, right? But Jalen Brunson, on the first of the NBA championship, was that actually the bigger bubble? And I think, again, this is a valid conversation with this roster building and how different mistakes can actually hurt the roster. But it's a completely different direction. It's like, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed. This is really bad. I'm going to give that into the first big shout out to our sponsor, that is Prize Picks. Chris, you know how Prize Picks usually look like low. Super easy to play. It's $25 to $50. Instantly, you got a great promo going on. Right now, all you got to do is pick more or less than your favorite players. I'm going Steph Castle. More than 11.5 points because, of course, I'm going to take that one every single time. Better than root for that. More than 0.5 points, just please. If it's get it or something like that, so I'll load that. And then Mitch Robinson, 3.5 points. You get a switch to the pack of it. I think we'll get the switch line up. I know we've got to get through those shoes, but I think it's just fair enough where don't accidentally make a quick goals and maybe get unlocked out for something along those lines. Now, so I'm over this barrel, HPP for $35. You guys want to get in on it, use that code HSA. Link is in the description down below. The first place you can go. We'll start today. Okay. So check this out. So look at that from Watch on Matt. Just the other day. Said, at what point did you get involved with a bigger mistake and without it for the Dallas Mavericks? And I think that this is kind of a natural progression, right? Everybody's making fun of Mavs fans. Because here's Jalen Brunson now about to win the fight. We got to find something to point and laugh at. So everybody's making fun of Mavs fans. Check this out. I think this is actually a very cool thought exercise here. Check this out.
And if you're the Mavericks, you look at this, you look at the situation, you go, oh my God, it's getting brought up over and over again. If you're a Mavs fan and listening to this, you are one. You have seen the.
Jeremy Lin was an NBA champion and man has spent some pretty memorable moments for the New York Knicks. We'll talk about that a bit later in the program. Delivery is a good word he used to describe this game. Again, we watched so much of it. We got the best game plans, and I'm going to ask you about the end game. And there's a line that fatigue makes cowards of us all. These guys weren't cowards. They were fighting like champions out there. But fatigue seemed to be the maybe useful. What would you see in that end game sequence? Both teams are struggling to execute it all. It doesn't come apart. Runs to come back into the game, but the last 30 seconds was somewhat inexperienced. Whether you want to call it fatigue, it just wasn't it. The first play, another isolation for Wemby with 30 seconds. Tough shot over Mr. Robinson. They got the turnover, then a foul. I mean, they had the game where you have the ball 4 seconds left. It's a tie game. There's no way you should be able to ever lose that game. And so to me, it's the word for the Knicks get the ball. What do they do? They immediately find Brunson and do it immediately find a mismatch second off. So first, they get the ball. They're not even sure. When we're getting a couple nights looking for it, they don't know who's going to take charge. Is there a timeout to be called or not? It just seems, as Wendy said, very clear. So a timeout to come in that moment and running out of this ball. I think a timeout would have been perfect. I personally would have called. I think that would have been. The 14-0 run completely changes the context of this conversation because it appears talking about New York with stranglehold in the series where they took it away in the victory. But there was so much great basketball that New York played when they took control in the second and third quarters. And there's an example that I know you want to show is to speak to maybe you can explain what you see that speaks to the connected nature of this New York team. I have to start at the top with Mike Brown. What he has done in all facets for his team on the offensive side. We can see habits, principles. Here, 3 people drive the ball. Brunson, Shamet, and Nikhil Bridges, they all drive in Bridges' base. It ends up with so much flow, and Bridges ends up with an open 3. Here, in the second half, there's a double team. Immediately, Shamet gets right to the short corner to get the ball, and that opens up the cat 3-pointer. And so there's just so much connectivity to do what they're doing. On the defensive side, they're the #1 defensive team in this playoff. They're always in the right position. How many Wemby alley-oops in the half court have we seen? Very few, because they're always in the right position and they're able to fan out and get lots of steals and get in transition. But the biggest thing about Mike Brown that I love, he's kept on the bench. This is a huge knock for the Knicks. Landry Shamet, veteran minimum, almost out of the about to get some veteran. And he's a difference maker. He's averaging 13 a game in the NBA Finals. But the biggest thing is McBride, Alvarado, Shamet, they're coming in and they're being trusted right off the bat. Yeah, the thing is, we try to take the notes to the less glory and get to the things that matter and connect it. Mike Brown, these are the things that you notice. And the bench minutes in that late third sequence where you've got Cat, I thought a couple of cool foul balls back to back. Now, Hartson foul trouble as well. And so these are
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. Nobody near Schroeder.
From 4 to 9, based on bench points, and that Bridges had a bunch of buckets as well. But you play a bunch of different roles, and then you get off the bench, or you strong, or whatever. When you're shown that level of belief by Mike Brown, how does that elevate what you're able to give your team?
The most obvious way to see their confidence level is to see the role players and how free they're playing. And you can tell Brian is hitting big shots in the fourth quarter. Shem is not even thinking about it, and they're just coming in and they're ripping shots right off the bat. And that just goes, and so many people who play for Mike Brown, they talk about him listening, being attentive, being a player's coach. Kat talked about it as well. And that just goes to show that when you are infused with confidence and you aren't looking over your shoulder, you're just playing free and your basketball instincts are coming out. And that's a huge reason why you see the Knicks clicking the way they are.
You're really good at this already for a guy who hasn't done it a lot. I'm not trying to put you in a weird spot, but I don't know, because I don't know if it can be explained. When you're trying to execute at the highest level in the most important moments, and you appear to be physically exhausted, how does that impact your ability to execute when it clearly both sides at moments in this game were completely toast?
Absolutely. When it comes down to that, it's about your habits. It's almost like muscle memory, where no matter how tired you are, you still do the same things. And again, New York Knicks down the stretch, outside of, they had 2 possessions where Bridges was trying to be the primary ball handler and the playmaker, and that was kind of an off thing that was very interesting to me. But other than that, they were still crashing the glass in the right way. Defensively, they were in the right positions. And so when you are just so tired that you can't really think, you kind of just revert to your habits. And that's why they
Open a Chime checking account in 2 minutes and get paid earlier to enjoy a festive spring. Apply now.
Tired of painful finger sticks? Meet the future of glucose tracking. No needles, no... I recommend the new Prixo non-invasive glucose monitor to all my patients. It's accurate, reliable, and completely pain-free.
What's going on there, guys? Back with another one. I want to talk about this on today. As Gilbert Arenas says, those watch parties that they're having on Beat Arena, which was formerly Gil's Arena's channel, is like having the Jacksons without Michael there. And he pretty much said that he has the secret sauce and the ingredients to really get the Cavs going, right? And I remember that was a point of contention a little while back, right? Like, I remember Anton Daniels made some comments that the guys on the show were supporting cast members, but they weren't Gil. Gil was the star. Gil was the engine behind the whole thing, and it was his namesake, right? It was Gil's Arena. It wasn't the arena at first. It was Gil's Arena before the deal with Underdog, or where Underdog got more say and more power and what happens with that channel. So when I look at the numbers, right, the arena, solid numbers on the live stream. But if you look at Gil had the highest individual show of any of these NBA Finals live streams. So it still shows, right, like his audience is there. These are directly competing audiences. So I don't know if Underdog is looking, well, I do know. They're looking over there at Gil's channel, and the things that he's doing, they're doing on their channel. But it looks like the direct competition with it being at the same exact time, because you can only stream live during the game when the game is on, right? So the direct competition, they're trying to send a message, but the fans are choosing to give them, this is more time for the rest of the cast members. So we're going to get to what you had to say. Let's check it out.
Man, if you're watching 2 watch parties right now, let us know. I told you again, y'all can stop calling Josiah Loyal shit. I'm going to be Texas Hospital as the partners are not shooting. See, I'm looking at a watch party. That's exactly like how I'm a people. This is like how the Jackson 4 went to 12 to 5. It's just sitting there looking around, just chilling. Look at that bitch! Look at that! Oh shit! See, check the Jackson, man. That's what they never do. See, that's what they think about
your fans. See your fans.
Now just over a minute playing here in the first.
Now everybody get excited now. Look at him.
Even though he needs to make the right decision to get the ball.
Oh no, motherfucker! No, you missed my shit out! You missed my easy! God damn it!
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to
You can't get excited about a nigga like me! See? Mr. B! I never know how to treat him, Mr. B!
Atlanta shooting their first shot from the break in this game.
They got Brandon over there like, man.
He hits the second from the line.
Get a nigga get a drink out this bitch.
Just over a minute and a half in. And here are the 76.
It's two sides. They got Brandon and you got Mr. B. You gotta get Mr. B. You gotta toast with Mr. B. Brandon Jennings in his
There was a time when we had the Mr. B crash out on 1 o'clock.
Good with a layup.
Every day we get 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock too. Mr. B was going to crash out.
So I'll say this, you know, we're going to continue the video, but this is what most people didn't want. Underdog took the ball in the decision making on the show. We're taking over because a lot of people feel like when big corporations come in like that, they start making too many decisions. It's going to be overproduced, inauthentic, and you know, it looks like they're clearly taking Bill's ideas, right? Like, that the live stream watch party is now becoming a thing on their platform. That's what they're right now.
Oh, come on, Josh. What's up, Josh? A couple things. First half, Michael Jackson loved all his brothers. It seems like Randy was the same on Virgil Jackson in the family. So Michael was so dog. He could have had Randy mid Blake to get Jay-Z. That's just my personal opinion. Secondly, Joe Jackson. Bad rap. I condone or tolerate his methodology, but it was successful. Get the steps right. You better get these steps right. No. I had a conversation, and this is real conversational stuff.
It's 2 points. Don't hit it on your head. So let's get refocused and play with more patience.
The Hawks making a switch here. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it inbounds in time.